more than 2,000 years ago. The land of China was not one nation. It was divided, broken into rival kingdoms, each fighting for power. This was the era of chaos. The warring states, where survival meant strength and weakness meant destruction. In one of these states, a boy became king. At just 13 years old, his name was Qin Shi Huang. But the throne was not power, not yet, because behind it, others controlled the kingdom. As he grew older, so did his ambition. He didn't want to rule a kingdom. He wanted to rule everything one by one. He began conquering the other states. His methods were brutal, efficient, unforgiving, and then it happened. For the first time in history, China was united. He gave himself a new title, not king, but emperor, the first emperor of China. With power came control, laws, roads, a unified system, everything under his command. But with power came something else, fear. Because even emperor cannot escape one thing, death. Power changes a man, but fear transforms it. After uniting China, Qin Shi Huang had everything, an empire, an army, absolute control, and yet he could not control time. He had conquered kingdoms, but there was one enemy he could not defeat, death. At first, it was just a thought, a question. What if death could be avoided? He summoned scholars, philosophers, alchemists, anyone who claimed to understand the secrets of life. Some spoke of legends, of elixirs, of hidden lands where immortals lived forever, and the emperor believed them, not because they were proven, but because he wanted them to be true. He ordered expeditions, ships sent into unknown seas, searching for the secret of eternal life. Legends spoke of distant islands, places untouched by time, where immortals walked among men, but many who served him did not have answers, only stories and lies. As years passed, his fear grew stronger, and his trust grew weaker. Alchemists began creating mixtures, strange substances, promising eternal life. Many of these elixirs contained mercury, a deadly substance. But the emperor didn't know, or perhaps he didn't care. He drank it, believing it would make him immortal. But instead of saving his life, it slowly began to destroy it. No one spoke of it. No one dared. But the emperor was changing in his search for eternal life. He had taken the first step toward his death. The fear of death had become something else, an obsession. Qin Shi Huang no longer trusted anyone, not his advisors, not his generals, not even his closest allies. Every word became a threat, every silence, a hidden danger. He began controlling information. Books were burned, ideas were silenced, but none of it stopped the fear. Because deep inside, he knew the truth. If he could not escape death, then he would prepare for it. He ordered the construction of one of the greatest tombs in history. An army was created, not of living soldiers, but of clay. Thousands of warriors, each one unique, each one ready to serve him in the afterlife. A silent army, waiting for a war that would never come. His tomb was not just a grave, it was a world, a kingdom beneath the earth. It is said rivers of mercury flowed within it, a deadly reflection of his empire. But this vision came at a cost. Thousands of workers forced to build his eternity. And when the work was done, many were never allowed to leave. The man who ruled everything was now ruled by fear. And while he built his world after death, his real life was slowly fading away. The years of obsession had taken their toll. Qin Shi Huang was no longer the powerful ruler he once was. His body was failing. The elixirs he trusted were slowly poisoning him. Mercury, a silent killer. But even now, he refused to accept it. He continued his search, still believing he could escape death. He left the palace, traveling across his empire, searching for answers. This was no longer a mission of power, it was a journey of desperation. As the journey continued, his condition worsened. Then, it happened. Far from the capital, the emperor died, but his death could not be revealed. Not yet. If the empire knew, chaos would follow. So they made a decision to hide the truth. The emperor's body remained inside the carriage, as if he were still alive. But death cannot be hidden, not for long. To hide the smell, they carried something else. From the outside, everything seemed normal. The emperor was still alive. They returned to the capital, still keeping the secret. But secrets never stay hidden forever. And when the truth finally emerged, everything began to fall apart. When the truth finally emerged, the emperor was dead. Qin Shi Huang, the most powerful man in China, was gone. The illusion of control collapsed instantly. Fear spread across the empire. Without the emperor, power became a battlefield once again. The empire he built began to fall apart. His dynasty did not last. After his death, it quickly collapsed. But one thing survived: his tomb. Hidden beneath the earth, and inside it, his army still waits. Thousands of soldiers, frozen in time, guarding a ruler who could not escape death. He wanted immortality, but what he achieved was something else. Not eternal life, but eternal memory. His story is not just about power or fear. It is about the limits of control. Because no matter how powerful you are, some things cannot be conquered. Not time, not death. Even emperors must face the end. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because history is full of stories that were never meant to be forgotten.